California isn't new to celebrity weddings, but this weekend was different. When Selena Gomez married music producer Benny Blanco in a lavish ceremony by the Pacific Coast, the atmosphere was already charged with anticipation. The guest list read like a Hollywood premiere, the decor looked like something out of a fairy tale, and the whispers around the venue hinted at moments that would dominate headlines for weeks to come. But no one could have predicted just how much attention two guests would draw. As Taylor Swift stepped out of a sleek black car in a champagne satin gown, with Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce holding her hand, the mood of the entire night shifted. The cameras turned, conversations stopped mid-sentence, and for a few seconds, it seemed like even the ocean breeze stilled. Together, Taylor and Travis didn't just attend Selena's wedding, they became a story within the story. Every look, every gesture, every quiet moment between them was noticed, shared, and dissected. And by the end of the night, one question echoed louder than all the wedding music combined. Could Taylor Swift herself be preparing for a wedding of her own? Asterisk. September 27, 2025, was not just another Saturday on the California coast. For Selena Gomez, it was the day she stepped into a new chapter of her life, a celebration years in the making, yet completely her own. The ceremony unfolded at a coastal villa surrounded by lush gardens, where white flowers cascaded across archways and scented candles filled the air with warmth. Strings of fairy lights hung delicately between palm trees, creating a glow that felt both luxurious and intimate. Around 250 guests made their way through the decorated venue, from Hollywood stars to family members who had known Selena since her childhood. The wedding planners had carefully balanced grandeur with intimacy. It was extravagant enough to feel unforgettable, yet personal enough to remind everyone that at its core, this was about love. Selena's entrance was the moment everyone had been waiting for. She appeared in an exquisite wedding gown, elegant and classic, designed to highlight her natural beauty rather than overshadow it. The room seemed to pause as she walked down the aisle, her eyes fixed on Benny, who stood waiting in a black tuxedo, unable to hide his grin. Their vows blended modern romance with timeless tradition, reminding everyone that this wasn't just a celebrity spectacle, it was two people committing to forever. And yet, even in a night crafted to honor Selena and Benny, another presence loomed large. Guests whispered to each other, sneaking glances at the entrance, already buzzing with anticipation. Because they knew that among the stars attending, there was one pair whose arrival would set the entire place alight, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. The anticipation turned into a collective gasp the moment the sleek black car rolled to a stop outside the villa. Out stepped Taylor Swift, radiant as ever, her champagne-colored satin gown clinging elegantly to her frame. The off-the-shoulder design gave her an air of effortless sophistication, while her blonde hair was pulled neatly into an updo, allowing her natural beauty and soft makeup to shine. With every step she took, the satin fabric caught the light, shimmering like liquid gold. At her side was Travis Kelce, exuding confidence in a classic black suit, complete with a silk tie and polished shoes that gleamed under the villa's glowing lights. Tall and broad-shouldered, he carried himself with the presence of an athlete, but softened by the warmth of someone deeply in love. The two held hands as they walked toward the venue entrance, exchanging smiles that looked genuine, unforced, and unmistakably affectionate. The reaction from guests was immediate. Conversations stopped. People stood, craning their necks for a better view. Phones slipped discreetly from pockets as flashes lit up the night. Even staff members paused in their duties to watch. For a brief moment, Selena's fairy tale wedding felt like it had gained a second centerpiece, not by design, but because of the sheer magnetism of Taylor and Travis together. It wasn't just that they were celebrities. It was the way they looked at each other, the way their hands never drifted apart, the way they seemed both glamorous and grounded at once. In that moment, they weren't Taylor Swift the superstar and Travis Kelce the NFL champion. They were simply a couple who couldn't hide the glow of being in love. Taylor's presence at the wedding carried more weight than just her star power. For years, she and Selena have shared a friendship that has endured the turbulence of fame. From public appearances to quiet support during personal struggles, theirs is a bond that fans have admired and looked up to. Selena has spoken in interviews about how Taylor has been a constant source of strength in her life, someone who understands the pressures of the spotlight and the pain of heartbreak. Taylor, in turn, has often credited Selena as one of the few people who has truly stood by her side through it all. Their appearances together at award shows, their joint performances, and even the candid moments shared on social media have painted a picture of a friendship that's more like family. So when Taylor arrived at Selena's wedding, it wasn't just as a guest. It was as someone whose presence signaled unwavering support. A source close to the bride later revealed that Selena felt overjoyed to have Taylor there for such an important day, and that it meant even more that she brought Travis along. Selena now considers him part of her circle of trust, a small and carefully chosen group. That subtle detail, Selena welcoming Travis into her inner world, spoke volumes. It wasn't just about one couple attending another's wedding. It was about bonds intertwining, friendships deepening, and the beginning of something larger than just two people in love. Travis wasn't standing beside Taylor as an outsider anymore. He was becoming family. As the ceremony unfolded, the grandeur of the venue faded into the background. The focus was on Selena and Benny, exchanging vows that carried the weight of years of growth and resilience. But among the guests, there was one quiet moment that became the talk of the night. Taylor, seated beside Travis, grew visibly emotional as she watched her best friend walk down the aisle. Witnesses described her eyes welling up with tears, her expression softening as the words of love and promise echoed through the air. And then came the gesture that melted hearts. Travis reached over, took her hand, and held it firmly. When the tears finally slipped free, he gently wiped them away, his eyes never leaving hers. A photo captured Taylor leaning her head against his shoulder during the vows, her face lit with a mix of joy and emotion. That single image spread across social media like wildfire, sparking endless captions about love, loyalty, and what the future might hold for them. To fans, it wasn't just a sweet gesture, it was a glimpse into the intimacy of a relationship that, despite the cameras and the spotlight, remains deeply real. Some guests even whispered that the tenderness between Taylor and Travis almost felt like a preview, that if this was how they acted at someone else's wedding, their own day might not be far away. As the sun set and the music began, the wedding shifted from solemn vows to joyful celebration. Guests gathered under the glowing fairy lights, champagne glasses clinking as laughter filled the air. And once again, Taylor and Travis became the center of attention, not because they sought it, but because they radiated an energy no one could ignore. On the dance floor, Taylor twirled gracefully, her gown flowing like water, while Travis kept his hands steady on her waist, guiding her with the ease of someone completely comfortable by her side. They laughed together, whispered in each other's ears, and moved as if no one else was in the room. Clips from the dance floor soon surfaced online, showing Travis spinning Taylor playfully and Taylor laughing so hard she leaned against him for balance. Beyond the dancing, guests described Travis as one of the most approachable people in the room. He shared jokes with the groomsmen, clinked glasses with Selena's family, and even posed for photos with starstruck fans who managed to slip in. It was a side of him many outside of football hadn't seen, the easygoing, charismatic man who could charm a room full of Hollywood stars without trying too hard. For Taylor, whose relationships have often been the subject of endless scrutiny, this night felt different. It wasn't about hiding from attention or carefully curating an image. It was about being present, being happy, and letting the world see a love story unfold naturally. While the night was meant to celebrate Selena and Benny, it also symbolized turning points for everyone involved. For Selena, it was the chance to finally close the book on her turbulent past. From her highly publicized, toxic relationship with Justin Bieber to the emotional struggles she's shared openly with fans, Selena's love life has been under the microscope for years. But now, with Benny by her side, she appeared grounded, confident, and ready to embrace her future. For Taylor, the event was equally symbolic, though in a different way. She has had her share of heartbreak, with relationships that played out under relentless public scrutiny. But now, with Travis, she seems to be living a different kind of story. One that doesn't feel like a performance, but a partnership. Travis is no longer just the star tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs. He has become part of the cultural conversation, not because of his stats, but because of the way he complements Taylor's world. Together, Taylor and Travis embody something rare, a love story that bridges two universes. Sports and music, fame and privacy, spectacle and sincerity. And that combination has made them more than just a celebrity couple. They've become a global symbol of love, balance, and what it means to find someone who truly matches your rhythm. As fireworks lit up the California sky and Selena and Benny shared their first moments as husband and wife, Taylor and Travis quietly slipped away, hand in hand, waving to cameras as they left the villa. To many, it was just a sweet ending to a magical night. To others, it felt like something more, a preview of what might come next. Selena Gomez's wedding may have been the highlight of the weekend, but for millions of fans, it raised a different question. Is Taylor Swift preparing for her own fairy tale ending? After all, the way she and Travis moved through the night, in sync, affectionate, and unshaken by the spotlight, suggested that this love story is only just beginning. And so, as Selena begins her married life, the world is left waiting and watching, wondering, could the next set of wedding bells we hear be ringing for Taylor Swift?